Buckeye Nation, let's go!
Texas tried, but we stood tall. Now Grambling's coming, we taking it all. Sorry for the Tigers, they don't want this smoke. Matt Patricia got the D, boy, that ain't no joke. 4 quarters locked in, shut them down, that's the code. We the Buckeyes, baby, welcome to the show. Sorry for the Tigers, they don't want this smoke. Matt Patricia got the D, boy, that ain't no joke. 4 quarters locked in, shut them down, that's the code. We the Buckeyes, baby, welcome to the show. 14-7 Texas fell, we had them in a cage. Goal line stand, lights out, we turned up the page. Akon to the league, Jim Knowles hit the road, but the silver bullets reloaded, everybody knows. Patricia got the plan, yeah, the man with the mind. Best defense in the nation, that's the headline. Quarterback shaking, wide outs, dropping tears. Better call the Tigers mama, it's about to get weird. Columbus rocking, the shoes on fire. Grambling State dreaming, but they stuck in the wire. Top dogs hunting, the jungle ain't safe. You about to see what the Big Ten made. Sorry for the Tigers, they don't want this smoke. Matt Patricia got the D, boy, that ain't no joke. 4 quarters locked in, shut them down, that's the code. We the Buckeyes, baby, welcome to the show. Sorry for the Tigers, they don't want this smoke. Matt Patricia got the D, boy, that ain't no joke. 4 quarters locked in, shut them down, that's the code. We the Buckeyes, baby, welcome to the show. Tigers on the field, but the hunt's already done. This a mismatch, man, better run, son, run. From the shoe to the natty, we got that heat. Grambling State stepping in, but they can't compete. Quarterbacks dreaming about a touchdown pass, but here come the bullets and they hitting too fast. Linebackers lurking, corners locking it down. 3rd down, nah, better punt it right now. We scarlet, we gray, we built for the stage. Big plays, big hits, put the Tigers in a cage. We don't rebuild, nah, Buckeyes reload. From the shoe to the nation, we run this show. Sorry for the Tigers, they don't want this smoke. Matt Patricia got the D, boy, that ain't no joke. 4 quarters locked in, shut them down, that's the code. We the Buckeyes, baby, welcome to the show. Another dub, let's go. Grambling coming, but they too late. Welcome to Columbus, this is the Buckeye State. Another dub, let's go! Grambling coming, but they too late. Welcome to Columbus, this is the Buckeye State!
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another Monday night call-in show. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host, Buckeye Boggs, a.k.a. the Podfather. We are live tonight on a Labor Day. Happy Labor Day, Buckeye Nation. Good to have each and every single one of you with us this evening. Do us a big favor if you don't mind, everybody, and smash that like button. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Ring the bell. Get notified every time we go live or we drop new content on your doorstep. Phone lines are open, 567-483-1999. Tell us what you heard, what you've seen. Let's talk about it. Matt Patricia out here making everybody forget about Jim Knowles. Jim Knowles out here forgetting about Jim Knowles after that performance in the shoe on Saturday. 14-7 Ohio State beat Texas in what I guess you could say was a defensive slobber knocker. We all knew that was what was going to happen. We told everybody. Yeah, Andre said, hey, Podfather, what do you think about that 27-24 game last night between Miami and Notre Dame? Heck of a game to watch. Fun finish. And that reminds me of our new sponsor. That's right, mybookie.com, everybody, where if you use the promo code OHIO, our promo code Ohio at mybookie.com, you could win $500 of bet back bonus. That way, if you did what I did, you took the over in the Notre Dame Miami game, no sweat, you would have got your bet back because that. So there's that, dude. Thank you, Buck Vader. I'm glad you enjoyed this week's song. It is. What are you going to write about Grambling? There's nothing to make fun about with Grambling. Okay, it's a HBCU school, which means they're FCS. They won 55-7 over a school I'd never heard of before. Might have been Bishop Sycamores for all I knew. Like I have no idea who they were. They beat the brakes off of them, 55-7. We beat Texas, so this is not. We are not the same. Okay, we are not the same. Grambling beat the Little Sisters of the Poor 55-7. This is a whole different ball game. To waltz right up to Columbus, Ohio, where, let's face it, they're going to be taking on the best defense in the country in Ohio State. And this is going to be, can we call it a tune-up game? Can we call it a celebration of beating the number one team in the nation encore game? Can we call it, let's work on what we need to work on to improve ourselves and get ready for Washington in 3 weeks game? I don't know. What are you all calling the game against Grambling? What would you all like to see against Grambling this upcoming week? What were your thoughts about Ohio State's big win over Texas this past week? Are you like me? Are you still excited? I rewatched the game today. I went back and I actually rewatched the game. Saw a lot of the things that the experts who were breaking down film were talking about. And so that was fantastic to see. Yes, Ohio State is looking really good defensively, guys. We've got a long way to go offensively. I get it. I understand that. Everybody understands that. But you saw the potential in Julian Sain that everybody has been talking about. His touch, his accuracy far exceeded anything Arch Manning brought to the table on Saturday. It wasn't even close. So there's that. I think the offensive line is going to improve. Did they play as bad as I initially thought they did? I thought they actually played a little bit better than what I initially thought they did on Saturday. And here's the other thing that I kind of misread. I kind of thought the defensive line didn't get as much pressure. They actually got a lot more pressure than what I actually remember them getting. Just kind of watching the game over again without all the anxiety because you know the outcome of the game. And so all of those things being said, that's kind of where I'm at right now this evening. Podfather, how about this Ohio State defense not letting Grambling even cross the 50-yard line? That would be fantastic, but let's be realistic. They're going to be incredibly Manila Saturday. They're not going to show anything new, nothing. They're probably going to play a lot more guys. Let's face it, some of the guys who are going to get redshirted this year, they're going to play in this game. So you're going to see a lot of freshmen in this game who are going to make a lot of mistakes in this game. But that's okay. That's okay. Long as you've got the game in hand by halftime, you let them go out there and make those mistakes. That's what we've been begging Ryan Day for. This is the type of game where Tavian St. Clair needs to be in this game in the fourth quarter. All right? He needs game reps. And this is the type of game you want to see that take place. And so will the defense pitch a shutout? It'd be nice, but I'm not putting that on there. Hey, dude, WTP Sports Dudes is in here. Texas fan. Hats off to you, man, for actually coming back, saying hello to everybody. That shows you that you've got class, my brother. Good win, Bucks, over my horns. You got class, man. You are welcomed here. That's all we ask. We ask people show class. You, my friend, show class. So I appreciate that. And thank you for thank you for your sportsmanship. Thank you for your sportsmanship. All right, let's go to the phone lines, guys. Let's do it up tonight, man. Let's have a good time. Who is up first? By the way, the phone lines are full. We have 5 lines. They're all full already. It's a lot of people are going to want to talk tonight, okay? So we need to keep these running. We're going to try to keep these phone calls to about 5 to 6 minutes each, okay? 5 to 6 minutes. So have your thoughts, your bullet points ready, and let's hit them tonight heavy so that everybody can get in tonight and have and say their piece. If you want to super chat me your area code, you will bump up to the front of the line. That's how this goes, okay? That's how we can keep this thing running. It costs $30 for 2 hours to open these phone lines for you all to call in, and so that's what these super chats will go to. So if you want to super chat tonight, we appreciate that, and if you put your area code in your super chat, we will bump you up in the line tonight. So, that being said, who is first tonight? Let's see. Oh my goodness. Are we for real? Well, let's just do it upright, guys. Here we go. Burks, good evening. Hello, Burks. Can you hear me? 1 2 3 4. Checking 1 2 3 4. Burks, can you hear me? Uh-oh. Do we have technical difficulties to start off tonight? Is it on my end? Let me see. Let me see. Hold on here tonight. It might be me. I don't know. Don't hear Burks. It might be me. Give me a second, guys.
Thank you for calling Call-In Studios hosting. Enter your 6 digits. Welcome, host. You are now in the host room and can manage your callers
Well,
from the Call-In Studio web interface.
That was me, I think. So let's see. Let's see if we can't bring Burks back on here. Burks, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you, man. What's up, dude?
Sorry, that was my fault.
Yeah, you're good, man. No, I just wanted to call in. That was a hell of a game with you guys, and I'm going to be transparent with you. I actually had Ohio State winning that game. I honestly was just saying you guys were going to lose to really piss you off a little, but I'm a Julian Sain believer as a Michigan fan. I evaluate QBs, Ohio State or not. And, Julian Sayin, man, he gets the game ball. I'm impressed with him. First game ever beating Texas. And, at the end of the day, he did his job. He didn't do any turnovers, played good game manager football against a good Texas team. And I could see why Ryan Day, he did not want to put so much on Sayin. And that was actually an impressive win, I won't lie.
It was a good win. It was an impressive win
Yeah.
defensively. We have a lot to work on offensively. I'm
Mhm.
not going to sit
Of
here and
course.
sugarcoat it, but I can see the vision of where
Yeah.
Ryan Day's wanting to take this offense with Julian Sain. He's incredibly accurate. He throws a very pretty ball. There's a high IQ there with him. That all the things that they've talked about with him, you can see. I want to talk about your quarterback for a minute. What did you think of the opening game performance by Underwood?
Amazing. But here's the issue, man. And I have to be honest with my team, man. Our receivers really need to step up. We cannot have our tight end be the number one guy like Loveland last year. A lot of drop balls, dude. And I'm not gonna lie. This Michigan Oklahoma game is gonna go down to the wire. And if our receivers can't catch the ball, they're gonna be the ones I feel that are gonna cost Underwood like the game and stuff. And it's a little frustrating. And right now I have a coin flip in Michigan Oklahoma. I'm leaning towards Michigan to win it, but Underwood looks legit, man. It's too early. I cannot hype up saying he's going to be the next greatest QB of all time. I'm not going to say that, but he's in a good spot, and I think Julian Sain as well. He's in a good spot. Those two guys are both going to get better when time goes on.
I agree. Here. Let me give you the positives of what I saw in Underwood, and I'm going to preface this by saying I watched one possession of his game. Okay, I watched
Yeah.
the first drive, and then after that, I turned it over to LSU Clemson because I wanted. I can watch the split screen with multiple games. I just can't. I can't focus well on it when I do that, so I usually watch one game at a time, and then I'll go back and watch like the games when they cut it down into 60 minutes on BTN and things. But what I saw from Underwood when he first in that first drive, he's incredibly physical. He's a specimen at 6'4". He's a big dude. He's got a big arm. He's obviously an incredible athlete. To me, he reminds me of the way Terrell Pryor was the first time I saw him, except he's a little bit bigger than what Terrell Pryor was. So that being said, he has no receivers to throw to, bro. It's
Yeah,
all
I
running
agree.
game again, man, for you guys. And hey,
I
that's
know.
your identity, Burks. So if you guys are going to lean into it, you're going to be fine. It's not like you're, going to stink or something because of it.
Rudy looks better than JJ McCarthy. I'll tell you that right now.
Well,
You know,
thank you for
like
being
David,
honest. At least you're honest, Burks.
oh my God, bro! If you say like my fan base thinks JJ McCarthy's the greatest quarterback, they say he's some god, and that's why my fan base hates me. I say he's one of the most overrated quarterbacks ever, and he gets too much credit for what like Michigan really deserves. Like it should be Blake Corum, Mike Stanstrill, these type of guys. And McCarthy just gets too much credit. I'm telling you right now, Underwood's already better than him. Like just like dude, McCarthy cannot throw 250 yards like that even in the first game of all. Like Underwood's ready. So, and I was impressed with Julian saying, man. I was.
Yeah, I mean, what was? Let's move on. Let's talk about your defense, dude. How did you feel
Yeah,
your
sure.
defense looked on Saturday?
Man, it looks good. It was fine. Man, like turnovers and then that damn call. I thought it was all bull crap, But it is what it is. It's Michigan versus the world at the end of the day. The media is all the rough stuff. Okay, I'm not going to say that, but like, I just feel like that hit was just bull crap. And then defense was like, we had a lot of depth and stuff. That was good. Like a lot of guys were, getting stats like true freshmen were playing. So we have a bright future in that, I feel. But it was good, but it needs to get better, man, because John Mateer next week, man, if we play like that, how we played with New Mexico, man, we're going to lose that game. I think John Mateer, he has some receivers. One of the guys had 2 touchdowns, 118 yards. He can easily cook us if our defense is not in its A game. Jair Hill, our cornerback, got cooked a couple times from New Mexico receivers. So, I'm going to give our defense a C, honestly. There's not an A or a B in that game, at least. But this defense can be an A defense. It's just that, that was just not a great, I feel, game for it. C+, I'd give it.
What'd you think about the Notre Dame-Miami game? I know we both watched that one yesterday.
Yeah, no, dude. John Kennedy, man, I'm telling you, Podfather, Notre Dame fans, man, they're like,
dude,
they're like the
Burks,
most.
When they lose, they give John Kennedy money. That's what they. It's crazy to me. His super chats Sunday night last night.
So negative. Holy crap, dude. They're just so they act like their season's already done. They're doing Michigan, Ohio State, man. I'm telling you, those two fan bases are some of the most positive, arrogant fan bases. I think we are more arrogant than you guys in a lot of ways. But we are just, both of us are so much more positive. Holy crap, we could never, if we lost one game, we'd be like, oh, it's not over yet. We're going to still feel like we won the championship, Yeah. That's just us. So it's crazy.
Yeah, it is. It's crazy. I watched about 30 minutes, the first 30 minutes of John Kennedy's show, and he spent the first 20 just reading super chats. He probably got $1,000 or more to super chats. Crazy.
Yeah, that was crazy. But no, with the Northern Miami game, let's go quickly. CJ Carr looked pretty decent.
Yeah. Do you wish he played for Michigan?
Yeah, man. We got Jaden Davis. He's one of the worst QBs I think I've ever. He's our backup. If Underwood is gone, I'm telling you right now, Podfather, if Underwood is injured, he's injured, we are going to lose we're going to lose 4 to 5 games, even more. If you saw Jaden Davis spring tape, man, of the Michigan, dude, he is probably his release is so all the way back, so slow. Man, we should have got CJ Carr. And Jim Harbaugh, man, he was so arrogant at recruitment. He felt like he was just going to come. But no, CJ Carr was like, I want to, because Jim Harbaugh didn't do good. He was not good in recruiting in the last couple years at Michigan. he didn't really care, So, but yeah, Notre Dame looks. So Notre Dame's defense, man, needs play calling. They have a long way to go. I'm just gonna say that, but they have a QB, so that's that. There's that.
All right, so Burks, we're going to try to keep it to 5 to 6 minutes tonight. So you're at 6 right now. Tell me, can you bring me my cell phone, please, babe? Thank you. Can you? So give me your last thoughts on the way out, so we can keep her moving tonight, Burks.
Yeah, of course, man. I just ask. This last thing I just want to say is like, man, Michigan Ohio State fans, man, just talk your shit once one of us loses, right? We're both 1-0, man, and just enough with this trash talk. Give credit to Ohio State for beating Texas, and give credit for Michigan for not, being, all the time, my fan base is just, just being bad sport about, they beat Texas because of Arch Manning was trash. No, there was a lot of reasons why they beat Texas, man. So we're both undefeated, all right, and we're just, just talk your shit once one of us loses or we lose during the game, So that's all I ask, honestly, to make the rivalry, less toxic. But yeah.
All right, Burks. I appreciate you, man. Have a good one. Thanks for leading us off tonight with a good phone call, buddy.
Take care.
All right, bye-bye.
Yeah, take care, man. Appreciate it.
All right, we're off and running on a Monday night, everybody. Burks leading us off. He's obviously riding high from the win over New Mexico for his Wolverines. Each team is 1-0, and they are on the crash course for game number 12 once again. Someone do me a favor in the chat. Someone volunteer to run a stopwatch for me so that we can keep these phone calls between 5 and 6 minutes. So when you call in, someone will start the stopwatch for you. At minute number 5, I'll let you know, hey, man, last minute, give me your last thoughts so we can keep them moving tonight and try our best to get us through as many phone calls as we possibly can. All right, that being said, coming up next here, everybody, he is the producer of the Buckeye Lounge and the Buckeye Ladies, which debuted this past Thursday. You all know him as Buck Vader. He's my buddy Vaughn. Let's bring him on. Buck Vader, welcome to the OHIO Podcast Monday Night Call-In Show. What's up, my brother?
Hey Podfather, it's Vader. It going. I got a few things I'd like to go over.
All right, man. Hit me with them. Let's go.
I have several observations about the game. Let's start with the good. The defense picked up right where they left off. The secondary is better than last season. Iggy had his best game as a Buckeye, and Matthews is an upgrade over Burks. The linebackers might be the best in America. Especially Race, he controls the middle, plays downhill against the run. Against the pass, he can line up anywhere and attack the quarterback. I'm not sure if Hicks was considered an edge or linebacker. Honestly, I don't care. Put him in on more high leverage situations. He had 11 plays, 2 were high impact. First was in the goal line stand. He took on the tackle and blew up the running back. The second, he beat the tackle and forced the quarterback to hurry on 4th down to ice the game.
Yeah.
I was a little disappointed the D-line didn't dominate like I predicted. I went back and watched the game again. I think the D-line didn't held back a little so not to give Manning running lanes. Also, when the D-line needed the most, such as goal line, 4th down and the final drive, they did take it to Texas. On offense, Tate was great, made the 2 hardest catches. I was impressed with the tackles and Montgomery. I was very impressed with Sayin. He was poised, made great decision. I think he proved my evaluation that he had a bigger upside than Manning. He avoided the pass rush well enough to not get sacked against extremely good edges and protected the ball as well.
Yes, you had a lot of good stuff in that comment there, Vader, for me to really sink my teeth into. Let's start with the Jermaine Matthews Jr. Being an upgrade over Denzel Burke. Through one game, I agree. He was my prediction to lead the team in interceptions. He is incredibly athletic, and you're right, that was probably Iggy's best game as a Buckeye. He played incredibly well, no pass interference calls. The breakup in the corner of the end zone was fantastic. And good point about the defense, maybe holding back a little bit, keeping their lanes a little bit so that they can protect from Arch taking off and running. He didn't really hurt us too bad with his legs in this game, so that was an incredibly important thing to bring up. I like that as well. Do you have something else? You said in our text earlier, you said two things about the game: what I liked and didn't like. What? So is there something else with that, or do you just want to move on to your comment about Ryan Day?
Now what I didn't like.
Okay.
Our D-line needs to be more aggressive and creative, much like the linebackers. I rewatched the game. Texas O-line left a lot of openings, we just didn't take advantage of them. On offense, I was very disappointed in Hinsman, Tugra, and Ethan. Hinsman, as Mecca pointed out to me, had several low snaps. Tugra and Ethan especially had rough days in run blocking and pass pro. Ethan has a long to go to be worth the 7 figures we paid him. We need at least 2 of the 3 to improve and play better. I'm very concerned about Peoples. I saw no explosion, vision, or ability to break tackles. Jamal Luke told me to be patient, so I will try, but even though I think Donaldson is solid if he is truly running back one, our ground game is taking a big step back compared to last season. This breaks my heart to say, but the player I'm disappointed in and I'm just about ready to write off is Thurman. It looked like to me he went backwards from the improvements he made last season. The blocking is obvious. His playing time would seem to back this up. He went from the number 3 tight end last season to number 5 in game 1. If this trend continues, look for him to hit the portal. Overall, the important thing is we won. The O-line didn't give up a single sack and only 1 tackle for loss against the best front 7 in college football. Our defense will get better. As Tyler said when we spoke after the game, we accomplished Coach Day's goal. We found a way to win. Now we need to spend the next 3 weeks to open up the playbook. This huge victory is definitely something we can take confidence from and build on, especially saying, I would like to give a shout out to TG. She had the best prediction of week 1. Maddie P is an upgrade.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, yeah, the first test was aced. That's for sure. Let me speak on Jelani Thurman real fast. Chris and I tried to tell you guys. We were polite about it because we liked the young man. We loved his enthusiasm. We loved the energy and the juice he brought to the practice. But when they were doing individual drills and when they were playing 7-on-7 and 11-on-11, it was obvious to us he doesn't have it. He's not on the same level as the other tight ends. And so, yes, that's kind of the thing. All right, we're at 5 minutes. Let's hurry it up. Sorry. What's your comment about Ryan Day?
First, I like to address how college football media and even some of Buckeye Nation continue to refuse to give Ryan Day the respect he deserves. Let's address the pink elephant in the room to start. Does Coach Day have a Michigan problem? Yes. Does he need to overcome this problem? Absolutely. But Michigan had to cheat to unprecedented level to create this problem. I personally believe Coach Day will correct this problem without question. Since winning the national title, he has become noticeably more comfortable and confident. Now let's compare Coach Day to Coach Tressel and Coach Meyer beyond their records in the game. Wins against ranked terms, top 10 and top 5 teams. Coach Day has already surpassed both coaches. That's with a shortened COVID season. His current 7-game win streak against top 10 teams and counting neither Tressel or Meyer came close. Against non-ranked teams, once again, it's not even close. Coach Day has only lost once. Recruiting and NFL draft picks average per season, Day has a slight edge on Tressel and is neck and neck with Meyer. Both coaches have an edge in Big Ten titles, but both coaches have said the Big Ten during Day's time as head coach is bigger and more competitive. Culture and academics have never been better under any coach. Our players stay out of trouble, get their degrees, and many get their shot at the NFL, where several GMs have publicly said Buckeye players under Day come to the NFL act professional and ready to play like no other program. As you can easily see, Coach Day is equally or better than 2 of the all-time greats. So let's give Coach Day the respect he deserves and be thankful we have again found an elite level coach.
100% agree with you. All right, man. On your way out, Vader, go ahead and give me your observation from college football after week 1.
I have a few impressions from around college football after week 1. Alabama is on the decline. Their defense is soft. Their offense is average, and most concerning is there didn't really seem all that upset, but I promise you their fans are. It won't be long before they start demanding Alabama should do whatever it takes to get Lanning. Miami and Notre Dame by far had the most entertaining game. Penn State looked basically like they do every year. Can almost see Franklin thinking I must do something dumb to blow this game. I'd like to thank Paul Feinbaum for my new betting strategy. I just bet on the exact opposite of what he says. I had a clean sweep this weekend. My top 5 after week 1 are as follows. Number 5, Texas. Number 4, Oregon. Number 3, Georgia. Number 2, Penn State. My number 1 team is the Ohio State Buckeyes. I have 3 surprise playoff teams after week 1. Illinois, South Carolina, and South Florida.
Interesting. All right, man. I appreciate you so much, Vaughn. Thank you for calling in, my brother. Can I get a hearty IO or OH from you?
IO.
There it is. All right, that was Buck Vader, everybody. Buck Vader. Man, he had a lot of goodness there. That guy, that young man knows his ball, everybody. No doubt about it. All right. Podfather, in your opinion, this Ohio State defense will wait to show much of anything until the first road game, so the opponent won't have much to go off of as far as game film. Yes. I do think they might add a wrinkle here or there in the next 2 games, but I think the emphasis is going to be on getting the running game going, getting confidence instilled in this offensive line with these running backs, hitting some big gainers. My early watch for this to happen prediction, Bo Jackson's going to have welcome to the world game against Grambling this Saturday. It's kind of my prediction. All right, let's go back to the phone lines, everybody, and bring on Diesel Dan. How's it going, my man?
Eric, how are you doing tonight, good sir?
I feel like a winner. How about you?
I feel like a winner. And first of all, I got to say this. You beat me in the bet last week, and I'll say, you know ball, Eric. You know ball, and I'm going to be a man about it. And I'm going to say congratulations. You beat me in the bet from last week.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you for being a man and coming on here and telling us what we already knew. Dan, we already knew that, but I'm just kidding with you, buddy. What'd you think of the game, man? Give me your thoughts.
Well, I was hoping to be more of a 4-touchdown blowout, like I said from last week, because my friend who roots for the red and black team, the team in red and black with the G logo, who barks, that just beat Marshall by 45-7. I watched that game. He's like, I bet you that Ohio State could beat Texas again, 49-7, 49-17. And I was like, so I took him up on the bet. And I'm like, well, let's do the job against Texas like we should. And then he texted me today, and I'm like, yeah, it didn't go so well. He's like, well, here's the point. You got the job done and beat Texas. Bottom line.
Yeah.
So, and you know what? I've said this plenty, and you should know this, Eric. I've said this plenty of times on this show. Arch Manning is the most overrated quarterback in college football. And that was proven.
He sure looked like it Saturday, didn't he?
And the saddest thing part is the Manning family has an 0-2 record against Ohio State because Archie Eli or Peyton didn't play against Ohio State, except Arch Manning, whose name was sliced in half, so no one would get him confused with his grandfather, an Ole Miss legend.
Are you really going to hang the Cotton Bowl loss last year on his record, though? He wasn't even starting. He played one down.
No, I'm just saying the win from this past Saturday.
Yeah.
Is the bullet that he had to swallow down the throat. Pretty much, hit his stomach and gut.
Yeah, but you said 0-2. That the Mannings are 0-2 against the Buckeyes.
Oh, excuse me. I meant to say Sarkisian. Sarkisian is 0-2 against Ohio State. My bad.
No, that's good. No, you're right. Well, he's 0-2 against Ohio State as a head coach. He was the offensive coordinator for Alabama in the national championship game when they embarrassed us. But here's another stat for you, Diesel Dan. He's 0-3 going head-to-head against Matt Patricia, going all the way back to the NFL.
Hey, well, he's got more losses than Manning does, so. And I know Archie and his two boys were watching that game against Ohio State thinking, oh, dear God, my own grandson is proving me that he's a failure. Well, Archie, bad news, your grandson is a failure.
Don't go that far, man. That's kind of mean, Dan. I mean, he's not.
Hey, well,
how much of a failure are you when you've got how many commercials as a 20-year-old? You know, he's a multimillionaire already.
Well, you know what? I'll leave it at that, Eric, because they know Archie knows his family overhyped him. Texas overhyped him. Everybody overhyped him, and I told him not to overhype the kid. So guess what? They got karma handed back to him.
But is that his fault?
So, well, if you consider it, yeah.
Okay.
But you know, we can agree to disagree, Eric.
And we do normally.
But you know what? Grambling State is just going to be another warm-up game, and it's just going to be another, nobody that we play.
Yeah, it completely is going to be, and that's the way it should be. It should be. Caden, I got a question for you, man. Do you go turkey hunting?
No, not particularly.
Okay. Someone in the chat, because we're getting a little bit of some feedback on your cell phone. It sounds like turkeys in the background. I thought maybe you were turkey hunting.
It ain't turkeys. I'm gonna assure you that. That's just my parents bickering over there in the living room.
Oh, what are they bickering about?
Oh, just family stuff. Just because I'm working full time and I got a sister who's in college at Bowling Green State, and I've got two younger sisters in high school still, so they're just trying to figure out what the heck things are going on and just family stuff.
Okay, I got you. Well, Dan, what else you want to talk about, buddy?
But I'll say this: I was laughing about Notre Dame losing to Miami. Because I literally told a Notre Dame fan, y'all were losing that game to Miami. And no, I didn't have Miami win that game by 4 touchdowns. I actually had that one, either they were going to win by a touchdown or a field goal.
Okay. Who was the big winner from this weekend, other than Ohio State, in your opinion?
Well, I think it was Miami, because Miami has proven that they're a good team in the ACC and that they actually deserve to be the ACC champions. And I feel like Mario Cristobal has a very good team this year. So if Miami does make it to the playoffs and, wins the ACC championship, I'll be happy. And you know what? I watched the Florida State Alabama game, and I was literally laughing my guts out after that one. Because I got a bunch of Alabama boys that were bragging that they were going to beat Florida State week 1 on the road, and Ty Simpsons were going to do something. I was like, yeah, right. He wasn't going to do. And I guess you could say I won that one and the Miami one.
Yeah. Okay. What about Florida State or Miami? Who wins that football game and why if they played each other?
I don't know yet. I'd have to see that game. to figure out to see actually who was Florida State just lucky, or did they actually just win that game? But I'll leave that up to Florida State fans because I'm not a Florida State fan myself, and I don't got any friends in the Florida State network nor the Miami fan base. Well, yeah, I don't got any Miami friends. But you know what, Eric? It is what it is. But you know what? I just keep on it rolling. Just keep on it rolling. That's all I tell people.
I
If
got
you can't respect my opinion, get out and get lost.
Get out and get lost, huh?
And I heard Burrs talking about his Michigan Wolverines. I'll give them credit for beating Arkansas. What was it? New Mexico or something?
New Mexico, yeah.
I actually was going to tell him, spoiler alert, to that Maize and Blue lover. I have them losing to Oklahoma this coming week.
Gotcha. All right,
because
buddy.
If they do some fumbles and if they do some stupid stuff in Norman, Oklahoma, I will literally be laughing my tail off. And I will literally tell Burks that him predicting Michigan was going to win was even dumber than Texas fans saying Arch Manning was going to beat us again. Seriously. But you know what? That's for another day, another show. But, Eric, I'm going to let you get to these nice little callers. So, the big diesel freak is out of the building. As always, OHIO, Grambling State, prepare to go to hell, boys.
See you later.
So, yeah.
That's the diesel freak, everybody. That's the Dan the man. Telling everybody to get out there and touch some grass. Is that what he said? Something like that? I don't know. Something like that. I didn't catch it all. All right, we're going to keep her moving, guys. Ryan Day's Championship Beer at RDCB with gifted a 1 membership, and it went to Jeffrey McDowell. Thank you, RDCB, and thank you for doing that, and congrats, Jeffrey McDowell, for becoming a new member here at the OHIO podcast. I've been so confused what's going on in the chat. So I don't know who Ferris Khan is. I know is he the guy from which Michigan podcast is Ferris Khan from? Is it Locked On? Is that who that is? Or is he the one from the college or whatever what's his name owns? I don't know who he is. I'll just be honest with you. I only interact with 2 Michigan fans now. That's only people I interact with. I talk to Burks and I talk to Jerry, who's becoming a very good friend. That's it. I don't interact with anybody else from Maize and Blue. I can't. They won't have civil conversations. So yeah, I don't. But is Ferris in the chat? Because if he is, I don't see him, which means he has me blocked. So he's in the chat, but he has me blocked to where I can't see him. Anyways. Oh, now Sarah's getting involved. So what is going on in the chat? I missed something tonight. Man. Anyways, I'm moving on to the next call. My wife's there. She will take care of it. Trust me. All right. Let's see. I think this is David coming on next, I believe. What's up, David?
What's going on, brother? How about that victory on Saturday?
Man, I feel good about it, bro. It was great. I mean, listen, it wasn't the most artistic looking thing, but it was gritty and it was necessary. And I feel really good about this defense. I can't help it. How about you?
I'm with you. I feel great about this win. You get one of these every once in a while. It's just weird. It's like we didn't outgame them, but you know what? The defense is absolutely legit. And like we all thought, that back 7 is the best part of that defense. And Julian saying they had a great game plan for him. the ball came out of his hand, it was just laser beams. Every throw was a doggone laser beam. He didn't throw any. I don't think he threw anything to somebody that wasn't catchable. He had to throw probably about three for sure, maybe 4 passes. He probably had to throw about 3 or 4 of them away. He protected the ball, no picks. I think he got sacked once, and he didn't urinate himself. He didn't throw the ball into the dirt. You know, oh my God, somebody's coming to throw the ball in the dirt. You know, the run game could be an issue. Let's see, because Texas's front 7 is absolutely their defense is legit, but that front 7.
Yeah, David, let me run this by you real fast because you just hit on what I've been thinking about all weekend. What can you really glean from game 1 if indeed the front 7 we just played from Texas, who several NFL scouts were saying have 3 potential first-round draft picks in their front 7. And many thought was the best front 7 in college football defensively. What can we really glean from that about our run game? Is our run game in trouble, or was Texas really just that good? And on the flip side, if we come out, we run for 400 yards against Grambling, we can't also overreact and say, well, it's fixed now, we're great, because it's Grambling. You know what I mean? We're going from one extreme to the next extreme here. It's really hard to gauge that.
Well, what people got to remember here, guys, is your expectations for the offense. Mine was way too lofty. I thought the second half would open things up. Because, first game of the year, that whole first half is a chess match. You're not trying to, I watched a lot of football this weekend, and I tell you what, the first half of every freaking football game was ugly. There were fumbles and interceptions. It was just hideous. And we made the least amount of mistakes.
Yep.
We had one penalty that stuck on offense. The only reason why I got the holding call in the end zone was because of the hands to the face. He was trying to get, back and get a hold of that guy. The second flag shouldn't even have been thrown, in my opinion. If you saw the hands come off, you knew it was, because of the face mat, the hands to the face. But look, you're going to keep your offense. You're not going to get into that playbook unless you absolutely have to. The discipline by this coaching staff not to panic. All right, because that was a close ball game, man. If they would have ran Arch more, and I just kept waiting, I'm like, okay, they got a 7-0. They're going to come out. They're going to start running Arch. They're going to start rolling him in this second half, and we're going to find out. And that didn't happen. I thought, well, crap. We still got a 7-point game going into the fourth quarter. I'm like, now those legs are so fresh. You just running for that fourth quarter, and they never get it. I think the reason why they didn't is because they have no body behind Arch. If he gets hurt, they are screwed. Just like Michigan. They lose their quarterback, they're screwed. They're screwed. They got nobody behind him. And that's why we never saw him really run. He ran it one time, and I think it was kind of a little bit of an RPO, I think, kind of deal. I think he got flushed from the pocket, and his legs. You don't want Arch running, and I think them not having anybody behind him is really going to hurt them offensively from being able to use him. And every time he's a dual threat quarterback, folks, don't forget that. Every dual quarterback I've ever seen, they all need to get going with their legs before their arm can start firing. I don't think I've ever seen a dual threat quarterback that was a throw guy first. They need to run the ball a little bit to get in that rhythm of the game and he was never able to do that. And he does not throw well. What I tell you, I said he hangs onto the ball too long, arch hard on the ball too long. And that's what he did. And when the pocket was tight, the throws got really bad. When the pocket was tight, the throws got really bad. And because he doesn't set his feet, he was all out of whack when he was trying to throw the ball with a tight pocket. He was very uncomfortable in there. And Texas's run game was phenomenal. But also know this. We ran a light box the whole game. You better be able to get 7, 8, 9 yards when you're running the ball when there's only 6 dudes in the box. We had 6 dudes in the box. Now, we may have rotated somebody down in there, right? But that's when you got a team that can run like that, that's usually you're bringing the 8th guy down in that box. That's usually where you bring that safety, a strong safety, and bring him down in the box. And even though they got some stuff going, we shut them down every time. Probably the biggest thing I'm surprised about this game, there were no field goals. It absolutely blows my mind there was no field goals in this game. Because this was the perfect game for field goals. Texas, if they had taken their field goals down there when they're in the red zone and trying to go for it on 4th down, they may have won this game on field goals. That's a possibility.
It would have been closer at the end, that's for sure.
Go ahead.
I said it would have been closer at the end of the game, that's for sure. Because
absolutely.
they had 2. Ohio State had 2 goal line stands. I know the big one on 4th and 1 is the one everybody remembers, but don't forget they turned the ball over on downs, and it was a 4th and what was it? Short on the 7 or something like that. Was that in the 3rd or 4th quarter? I can't remember now. But yeah, so they turned the ball over on downs. I think Texas turned the ball over on downs 4 times.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think it was. It was 4 times. And the one that they gave him one early in that game, and he didn't get that. He was short. But hey, let me tell you about my steak. Remember, okay. I had steak. We had Tex-Mex. So we got up. We went down to the butcher shop. Right in the very front row was the perfect steak, brother. It was a T-bone. Got a T-bone. They got the T-bone for Texas. The steak was the shape of Ohio, brother. It was meant to be.
That's funny.
But yeah, don't worry, guys, about the offense. They're not going to open up that playbook, and probably you're not going to see that playbook get opened up until we go play Washington.
Yeah, I kind of tend to agree with you on that one, my friend. I think that's probably what we're going to see as well. Any last thoughts on your way out? So we can go. We got to keep her moving tonight.
Yeah, something that somebody else hadn't said anything about. Ohio State's game management of that clock was absolutely perfect. It was the best I saw all weekend.
IO. Great call, David. Appreciate you, man. Go Bucks. All right, guys. You can. We got some lines open. Now's the time to dial us up. 567-483-1999. 567-483-1999. So, absolutely, we'd love to talk to as many of you as we possibly can tonight. That's what this is all about. We want to know what your thoughts were on the game. We want to know what your thoughts are on the upcoming games. What we see from the Buckeyes in the next coming weeks. Matt Patricia, Ryan Day, Julian Sane. What you all thinking about it? I know this next caller is going to have some opinions and some thoughts. She's one of the best. Everybody, we're glad to have her here at the OHIO podcast. TG, what's going on?
Yo, what up, Eric? Let me say this right now. Did I not call it with this defense? I called it.
You nailed that. Absolutely. You nailed that one. 100%. I will put my stamp of approval on what you said, TG.
Yeah, and I had a feeling too. That's why I said I'm so proud of how that defense looked. I will say I do not like how they always like put it this way. I don't like when they're too far back in certain situations. I think they need to quit doing that, but still, the defense still played pretty well, so I'm not going to complain too much about it. But hey, look, there's some things they still need to clean up, but man, it's like you look at that defense, you're like, Jim who?
Yeah.
Who? Like Jim who? Like all of a sudden it's like Ohio State just somehow upgraded from a top 3 defensive coordinator and Jim Knowles, and somehow you just upgraded from that, right? Like that's how everybody's looking at it. It's like, oh, somehow Ohio State just upgraded. Well, no, duh. It's a former NFL defensive coordinator, people, a genius who knew exactly what he was doing. This is the best this defense has looked, even better than last year in the beginning, only because it's like these guys play faster. Not only that, but they did not allow a single score until like later. And that's only because of, and look, give Arch credit for how he threw the ball. I mean, it was a great pass. Got to give him credit on that one. But, man, they did not allow a single score all game. And even when the offense wasn't doing anything, they just shut down the offense all game. And the red zone defense, still elite. Don't care what nobody say. It's like I'm interested to see just how this defense, how much better they get. They got me excited now.
Yeah. They were impressive, TG. They were impressive. And like I said at the beginning of the show, I'm not even they better not let I think it was RDCB said they better not let Grambling cross the 50-yard line. I'm okay if they do. I want to see the third stringers get out there and play, man. This is the type of game you get you get a big lead and then you just set your starters, you let them rest, and you get game reps for these kids, man. And they're going to make mistakes.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to make mistakes, and that's okay. You want them making mistakes as true freshmen, in a game that doesn't mean anything, then pulling them in 2 years down the road, and they've got no game reps, and then make a big mistake against Texas. So that's what I'm preaching tonight anyways.
Yeah. What's super funny is you did see some of the younger guys get out there against Texas, like Devin Sanchez.
Yeah, he did.
We saw some of that against Texas, and I think we're going to see some more of these guys against Grambling to get them some reps. And going back and looking at the D-line, I was like, you guys had chances to get back there, but I can see why you didn't because you're so worried about Arch Manning's legs, which is understandable because I'm not going to lie. The guy can run. Like, he can run. He a problem when he runs the ball. So I can understand that one in that regard. It's like, you just got to contain, but also get pressure at the same time, which I'm actually impressed with how they did it because of how they did it with Arvell Reese and Sonny Styles. I mean, them two were dominating in that game. When you go back and watch, they were, especially Arvell.
Yeah.
I am so excited for this linebacker room. Team Pierce, Garrett Stover. I mean, I got to see him when he went out there. He was like, oh, my God. This linebacker room is so freaky. I can't wait to see the younger guys. I can't wait to see the rest of this linebacker room for the rest of the year. I can't wait. Same with the defensive backs. Same with the defensive line. Like, even when Kenyatta got injured, it's like we still had a good D-line. I cannot wait.
Yeah, I can't wait. That's one of the reasons why I don't mind these games as a fan, even though they're quote-unquote boring in the second half, is because you get to see all these kids who you've been following through recruiting, and they get out there in the field and you see how they look, how they move, what do they need to work on, and those type of things. It's kind of important. What were your thoughts on the offense and Julian Sain, TG?
If you ask me, I actually think, because if you ask me, I think this offense, first of all, played very, very conservative because they had chances where they could have easily shredded Texas's defense and got some bigger yardage, but instead they just took the opportunity to just protect Sain, which I completely understand. You did not know how he was going to handle the pressure. But I think the offense is pretty solid. Now, of course, the offensive line's got some stuff they need to work on, no doubt about it. But I can't front like, for instance, the interior of the offensive line, I can't front them too much because the D tackles are the best they're going to face all year. I don't think there's any D tackles, even in the Big Ten, that they are going to face that is better than Texas. Because remember, these are guys Texas got out of the portal, including Hero Canoe, who's one of our own, by the way. So it's like, I can't front them too much because it's like, look, this is the best interior offensive line you're going to go up against. Luke Montgomery did well. I think Carson, he's just got to work on his snaps a little bit. Because remember, he had this against like Will Howard at times. But hey, I think he was pretty solid. I think he could get better, no doubt. And I think this game is going to help him. Ethan and Tegra, I actually think they played pretty solid, despite the fact they got beat a couple times. And look, again, this Texas interior D-line, the D-tackles are going to be the best they face, and I think they're going to get better from it. I am super impressed with Austin Saravel and Phillip Daniels. Like, they were just shutting down Collins. Like, they just shut him down. And the edge rushers of Texas, like, those guys were not getting past Phillip and Austin. I am super impressed with those guys. I am very impressed.
Yeah, I was as well. And this offensive line, it's hard to judge them after this game because that may have been the best defensive line they face all year. And it's like you had to go up against that in week one.
That's the best part about it, though. I think the best way you can judge them by facing the best defensive line is, hey, you got stuff you need to work on, but you still held up pretty good, even if it wasn't great. Even if you got beat a couple times, which is going to happen when you go up against elite D-lines like this one, it shows what type of stuff you need to work on. And as the season goes on, expect these guys to get better. That's what I think you could take away from a game like this.
All right, TG, this is not Buckeye related, but I got to ask you because I love your takes, by the way. Florida State put a whooping on Bama, girl. It wasn't even close.
Yeah, I watched the game. I saw. I was like, bro, Bama. Like, bruh, the undisciplined nature of this team just was baffling to me. I'm like, oh my God, this team is so undisciplined. But not only that, their physicality was lacking. Like, bro, Florida State's trenches was bullying Alabama's trenches. They were bullying these dudes. I'm like, oh my God, this team does take a step back. Like, look, this is why you don't want to be the coach after the GOAT. You don't want to be the coach after one of the greats. You don't. Like, look, Ryan Day survived it, and that's with him winning the Natty, showing that he can do this. But, man, Kellen DeBoer, I'm telling you, you on a hot seat now, bro, because that is an embarrassing loss. I'm sorry. That is the most, mediocre Alabama I've seen since, 2007. And 2007 was Nick Saban's first year. That is ridiculous. That is just bad.
Yeah, Chris and I've been preaching it for years, TG. You don't want to be the man who replaces the man. You want to be the man who replaces the man who replaced the man. You don't want to be DeBoer. Yeah. You want to be DeBoer's replacement. And we all saw this coming. Like, Nick Saban put unrealistic expectations. It's like, let me give you an example. And TG, I know you're young, and you remind me of that every time, TG. But when Woody Hayes was let go, and they went to Earl Bruce was a really good coach. Almost won the national championship in year number 1. But because he replaced the living legend Woody Hayes, he got coined 9-3 Earl and got sent packing. Even though he had a winning record against Michigan, he had a team that almost won a national championship. He was up there in recruiting every single year. He was competing for Big Ten championships, and they still let him go because he wasn't Woody Hayes. And then from there, we went on a 12-year pilgrimage through the John Cooper era. And, now we've had 3 head coaches win national championships in a row, and Tressel, Urban, and Day. And I tried to tell Bama fans this. The odds of Caleb DeBoer being a national championship winning coach for you all is slim to none. He's not Nick Saban, man. He's not.
And look, I could see him winning the championship at Bama, but I don't see him doing it the way Saban did. He's could he win at some point? Probably, but nah. He ain't Saban. He never was. And look, what's funny when you talk about Earl Bruce? He's mentioned as one of the worst hires of all in history. He's like, guys, he almost won a national title in year number one. He had a winning record against Michigan. He had a winning record in the Big Ten. And yes, he went 9-3 once. But it's like, guys, it's like he's not the worst hire. Like, that was actually really freaking good. You just say that because he replaced Woody Hayes. And it's like, Buckeye fans, be realistic with yourself. You cannot expect, and that's the unfortunate part about it, even all fan bases, including ours, is we have unrealistic expectations for guys who replace a GOAT like a Woody Hayes, who to me is a top four, like, he's on the Mount Rushmore of greatest coaches, and Nick Saban. You cannot expect the coach that replaces guys like that to be as great as them.
No way.
It's just unrealistic.
It
in
is.
every facet. Like, you can expect them to be Urban Meyer, Jim Tressel, to an extent. Like, guys who won at least one net. Who, or in this case, Urban and Tressel's case, before they came to Ohio State, won like multiple natties, and then came to Ohio State and won us a natty. But it's like, you can expect that, or be like Ryan Day, where he has all his struggles, and then eventually he overcomes and becomes this great coach, and who knows, could end up becoming one of the next great head coaches in Ohio State history. That's what you could expect at some point, but you can't expect these guys to follow greats like Urban and I'm not Urban, Saban and Woody. No, that's just unrealistic, brother. You gotta have realistic expectations.
Yeah.
Let's have high expectations. Never, ever, 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 ever settle for mediocrity. That's
Right.
the great thing about Buckeye fans. But also be realistic. It's
Yes.
the same thing with Bama fans. Like, be realistic.
Yes. 100%,
Be realistic.
100%,
Like, have high
TG.
expectations. But be realistic.
What you got coming on this week, TG? What you got for in store for everybody?
Well, what we got in store is myself and Sean have a brand new guest coming on our show tomorrow. We will be interviewing him, and it's going to be he's another former Buckeye. It's going to be a fun time on there, and trust me, you guys do not want to miss it. It's going to be a really fun interview. He's
Awesome.
going to really let you know all about his history with the Buckeyes, his time playing, and his favorite memories of his coaching.
Cool.
Or better yet, of his entire time at Ohio State, I should say.
Good.
It's actually pretty fire. If you ask me to, on Thursday, with myself and Mika, we're going to recap, of course, the Ohio State-Texas game, give our thoughts, who should be number one, also give our thoughts across what happened with college football with Penn State, Oregon, and all of them as well. So trust me, you guys don't want to miss it. It's going to be the funniest type of week to have as far as the Buckeye shows. Like, you guys are not going to want to miss it.
That's right. Thursday night, 8 o'clock. Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, Buckeye Lounge. And then the Buckeye Ladies Thursday night, 8 o'clock, TG. Congratulations on your guys' debut, you and Mika, last Thursday night. You guys went over 100, and I think like 140 views already. TG, the first time I did a show, we had 3 views, and one of them was me. Okay. Let's put that in context.
Man, that's awesome.
Let's put that in context. You guys did great. I'm proud of you too. And make sure you all check that out. TG, thanks for calling in tonight, girl.
Hey, thanks for having me, Eric. I love talking all about Buckeye football. Can't wait to see us pretty much take the next step and have a great time talking all football.
That's right. Go check her out,
Sports in
everybody.
general.
Go check her out. Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. Thursday night, 8 o'clock. TGOH.
Yo, go Bucks, and Scum still sucks.
Yes, they do. All right, at Penn State Sports Talk, I need you to call in, bro. 567-483-1999. Let's have a conversation about this. I told y'all Jeremiah was a diva after his practice stunt. Now everyone wants to talk about him showing up, Julian. Who is talking about that? For real. I have seen zero talk about that on social media. I mean, zero. I've not seen one thing mentioned about that. I would love to talk to you. Call in. I want you to be my Penn State caller. I'm inviting you to, like Burks is our Michigan caller. I'm inviting you to be our Penn State caller. We need a Penn State caller. Y'all agree? I think we need a Penn State caller. So let's see if you'll do that for me, man. 567-483-1999. I need you to be that guy. Burke says he's a bot. I don't think he's a bot. I think it's a real dude. I think it's a real dude, man. We'll see. Call in, please. All right, let's head back to the phone lines. It's living legend time. Good evening, Ray.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. How are you, Ray?
Well, I'm going to have a tough week this week. I got to go to court on my daughter, Victor, and protective order. So pray for me. They owe me $19,500. I can't put up with forged checks. But going to the game now. My goodness, I thought you were going to blow that thing at the end, man. Manning started completing those passes, and you had a 14-0 lead. It was 14-7, and I'm going to tell you something. He threw that pass terrible out in the flat, two of them on second and third down. He completes either one of them, they're going to go for at least 20, 30 yards. You might be been in overtime in that game. It was pretty close to blowing that thing. And then the fourth down play, I liked the way they pressured him and had a sack on him and threw it out in the flat. And Downey's made a great play stopping him 2 yards short of the first down.
Yeah. Wasn't it something, though, man? I mean, that was something.
I'll tell you, Manning, he played bad for three quarters, but in that last quarter, he was starting to complete some long passes on you. But when it got second and third down, they were driving. He missed two guys, one of them for 15 yards, and then the other one out in the flat. And the guy was coming up to tackle him, but he had the wrong angle. That would have been a 20, 30-yard play. I'm just kind of scared we would have went into overtime. You're probably going to have to play Texas in the playoffs, and if Manning plays like he did in the fourth quarter, you could be in trouble. But the one thing I'll give our secondary a great credit. They didn't put much pressure on him because I think they were worried about him running with the ball. But I thought our secondary really held up great.
Yeah, I agree with that. They looked really good. Defensively, I thought we played an intelligent game. I thought offensively we played a smart game as well. Even though it maybe wasn't a flashy game plan, it was the right game plan because Ray, you know this. You've been watching football for a long time, man. In the game of football, the team that usually makes the most mistakes loses.
Right.
Both of Ohio.
They had one interception.
Yep.
It should have been two. I'll tell you what, that Southeastern Conference pissed me off too. That second one should have counted too. They didn't count it. But another thing that pissed me off, I was wondering why Smith doesn't get open. He got mugged 3 or 4 times, and they wouldn't call a damn thing against him.
I know. Well, there was one time, I think it was the first drive, actually, first or second drive. He was wide open deep, and Julian missed him.
Right.
And that might be.
Well, he was pissed off about it, and then he turns around, comes out in the second drive, and drops 2 passes.
Yeah, I know. It wasn't his brightest shining moment, was it, Ray? It wasn't. But
I know, but that's what gets you though.
Yeah.
A lot of times you get mad at your quarterback for not getting you the ball, and then when you do get it, you drop the ball. So it's better to stay humble.
Amen. That's right. That's right. That's a good biblical
we all
principle.
make mistakes. I mean, the kid, he threw a good pass to the tight end, but it should have went down the field because it was wide open for a touchdown. But they dropped 3 or 4 passes on him too.
Yeah, I know. No, Ed, he didn't. He said we should have had to, not that we did have to. We should have had to.
He played a conservative game, but they needed to play that game because they were playing a great team in Texas. And I'm going to tell you, you better keep improving because you're going to have to face them again in maybe the championship game.
Mm-hmm.
Texas is that good. So you're going to have to improve or you'll never be able to beat them in a rematch.
Yeah, 100%. But here's the thing, Ray. Like, isn't that what this is all about? That's what I love about. That's what I love about it. They're not going to be. They're not going to be the same team. I'd rather have a victory
than a loss going after the first game.
You nailed it. You 100%.
A lot of people are putting LSU ahead of us. I don't see it. I think Ohio State should be number 1, but it doesn't really matter until you get to the December and January, anyways.
Right. Exactly. 100%. Right.
But the kid, we're going to have to find out how the kid plays when he gets on the road. It's a different ball game when you start playing those games on the road when you got the crowd against you.
Yeah, and the first one comes in 4 weeks after the next 2 games and a bye week. Then we go to Seattle, Washington to take on the Huskies. That was a place
Yeah,
that
and they got like a 30-game home winning streak.
20. It'll be 22 game home winning streak by the time we get there.
I knew it'd been getting up there. They beat the bullies out there.
They
can't
did.
go up there and lay an egg. Can't go up there and lay an egg.
Yep, they did. So 100%, you nailed it.
You got to be ready. You got to be ready.
It's going to be a big one. We do need to
But
be ready.
I like a lot of things they did. You know, I was happy. I was a little nervous. I was praying at the end because I was a little worried we were going to be able to hang on, because if they would have tied it and went into overtime, I just don't know how we would have reacted to it, you know, because they would have had all the momentum. But they only scored with, like 3 minutes left?
Yeah. Yep, and then
But Manning didn't it look like to you a lot of his passes? I was watching him. He was throwing sidearm. Where the hell did he get that? Who taught him to throw like that?
It wasn't Peyton or Eli, I can tell you that much.
I know it. If he'd have threw that pass over the top on that screen pass, oh my God, that would have been a 20, 30-yard pass. I'm glad he threw a sidearm because I was nervous, but we hung on one, so at least we're 1-0. And I was up to Kroger's telling about the movie Kurt Warner for the hour. I had my national championship guy, and I had a whole bunch of fans coming up there. OH.
Nice.
I was giving them free Culver's coupons, and they were going to tell me they're going to buy the movie. So I got 3 trespassing charges on, but I don't give up. I'm still talking about the movie 2 or 3 hours every day.
Where do you got trespassing charges at?
Oh, my God. You want to know? I had one at Kroger's here in New Haven. I got that one off after 6 months. I got one at the mall for talking about the movie. And now I got one at the BFW. I got a lawyer trying to get that one off. I don't know if I'm going to have any luck getting these other 2 off, but it's crazy. This guy will be at Walmart. I was going in to pay a utility bill. He's got a violin. He's got a whole bunch of speakers and playing at full blast. And I give him $3, to help him. And he's doing it day after day, and the police aren't bothering him. But I get a trespassing charge for talking about a movie that would help special needs children. That's how crazy our world is. That's why I keep telling you, you keep getting those Bible verses out there, because we could live in a wicked, wicked world.
Amen, brother. Yes, we do.
It's a wicked world, but you know what? That don't mean we have to listen to the world when they tell us we can't do things.
That's right. We live in the world, but we're not of the world, right, brother?
That's right. So you keep those Bible verses up going for me, okay?
I will. When I record videos by myself, I will do that, Ray, okay?
All right. You're not going to do Thursday anymore?
Nope. Thursday is when the Buckeye ladies are on at 8:00. TG.
Okay, you got Monday, and then what day is Chris on?
Saturday mornings.
Oh, okay. 2
Yep.
hours before the kickoff?
At 10 a.m. every Saturday morning. 10 a.m.
Oh, every 10 a.m. Okay, even if they have a night game. Do we have any night games coming on in Ohio?
Next Saturday. Not this Saturday's 3:30. Next Saturday is going to be 7:30 against the Ohio Bobcats.
Okay, so we got 2 late ones coming up. 3:30 the next game and 7:30 the third one?
Yep, you got it.
And then we go to Washington. What other road games we got this year?
Washington, Illinois, Wisconsin, Michigan, and there's one more. Purdue.
Yeah, I just hope by the time we go to Michigan, we got our offense down a lot better than that. Because, they could shut us down too, if we don't. But they didn't look all that great. They won 34-17, but I watched them. They were giving up yardage. I'm hoping. Hey, what time's that Michigan-Oklahoma game going to be this week?
7:30. It's a primetime game.
Oh, a late game.
Mm-hmm.
What channel? NBC?
ABC.
Oh, ABC.
Yep.
Well, I want to see just how good the Bullies really are. Well, if Oklahoma plays like they won 35-3, I think they'll put a good whipping on them.
It'll be interesting. It's going to be a good game. Definitely be watching that one.
Another thing that bothers me, I got a son that said that the reason Michigan appealed that ruling, that they can't, even though they got 25, 50 million, is this true? That even that they can't give them any more penalties because it's already over with. So all they can do is rule for their favor or not. Is that the way? Is that true? They couldn't give them those penalties back.
I have no idea, Ray,
true?
and I'll be honest, I don't care anymore. I have no idea, and I don't care anymore.
I know. That was a frustrating thing right there. But
Completely.
Hey, happy Buckeyes. I love them. God bless you, and you guys keep working on the with the Lord, and we'll be in fine shape.
Io, thanks for calling, Ray. That's Ray for you, ladies and gentlemen. Eric, what time do you think the Washington game going to be? I believe it's going to be a 3:30 kick, which means it's going to be a 12:30 kick out in Seattle. Here's why I believe that. It's not going to be a noon kick because that would be 9 a.m. in Seattle. They're not going to do that. And it's not going to be the 7:30 kick because I believe Penn State already has the 7:30 kick because they host Oregon that night in a whiteout. So that is why I believe it'll be a 3:30 kick, and I believe it'll be on CBS. So that's my prediction. Ohio State and Washington will play at 3:30 on CBS. There's no way it's going to be that late. They would be the network. The Big Ten would not want that because no one. It would probably be the most watched game at that time, but still the numbers would dip, and they don't want that to happen. CBS wants that game because they're gonna be able to get that game. So it'll be 3:30. Okay, let's go back to the phone lines, everybody. Looks like we got David Green coming on next. What's up, David?
Hey, boss. Yeah, how you doing, big man?
Doing good. How are you?
Good, boss. Hey, listen to the live stream. Good work this weekend. Really enjoyed it, my friend.
Thank you.
Good stuff. Yeah. I tried to get in there, but the thing about it was I think your guys' TV was ahead of my TV, so I wanted to. I didn't want to have to hear you guys call the play before I could see it. So
yeah,
but that was. I got to talk about it. Let me get into it a little bit.
Okay.
I have to say, I want to talk about Sane a little bit. In watching the game, I said this to my dad. I don't know if you guys have made this observation. I didn't hear you guys maybe make this point. I may have put it in the chat over the weekend. It seemed like pretty much all of his throws, and this is one thing that I know, so I'm going to mention this about Arch, pretty much all of his throws were inside the strike zone. In a ball or baseball analogy, that most of the throws were on receivers' hands.
Mm-hmm.
At least a high percentage seemed to be. And by the way, what was the final number? Was he victimized by like 4 or 5 drops?
It was at least 3 that I can remember. So you're probably right. Okay. It was probably 4, but I can remember off the top of my head 3.
Okay. Yeah, because I was talking to somebody after the game. I said, what did he end up 13 of 20, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you're talking about a quarterback that legitimately could have gone 17 for 20 in the game.
Yeah, so, I think so. I mean he's deadly accurate, dude. He's deadly accurate. And Penn State Sports Talk's in here. He's celebrating the fact that they haven't had receivers drop 2 passes since you guys haven't had 2 receivers since 2004 who were any good. So that's an irrelevant stat in my mind. If you all think that Jeremiah Smith's going to drop 2 passes again this year, you're crazy. That's not going to happen again. He's too good.
Yeah, I thought Ennis down the sideline had a shot at one there, although I think that was the drive where they ended up scoring on the touchdown run where they pushed it into the end zone to get the 7-0 lead. But I thought he had a shot at one down the sideline. I don't know if you remember that play.
Mm-hmm.
It looked like that was also one of the drops that was in there too. So yeah, I think his numbers could have been actually a lot better. One of the things, I know you guys were talking about the game plan during the podcast. I will say one thing I'll kind of do to defend the Brian and Ryan combination as far as what the play calling is concerned. I mean, Ohio State was backed up into jail a few times when it comes to the field position.
Yes,
I do think that has to be factored into the equation.
100%. 100%. I don't have an issue with the play calling.
Mm.
Was it conservative? Yes. It was designed to be that way Saturday. And you can't argue with the results.
Sure.
Both scores that Ohio State had came off mistakes made by Texas. The first scoring drive, Texas had a third down that they would have got off the field, but they had a stupid penalty. Then they had a second personal foul penalty that gave us 15 more yards, right?
Right.
So they practically handed us the first points we scored. And then the second score, if I'm not mistaken, came off the interception. So, listen, Ryan Day didn't want Julian Sain to put the defense in a bad position. And he never did.
Yeah.
The only time they did was when we went for it on fourth down early in the game and we didn't get it. And again, if Max would have caught that football because it was a perfect pass, the drive would have continued.
That was a good throw.
The drive would have continued. So I cannot be mad with this game plan. Was Ryan Day, did he want Brian Hartline to call a conservative game plan? Yes, he did. That is evident. Did Ryan Day call the plays Saturday? No, he did not. Just watch the game. It was Brian Hartline calling the offensive play. Brian Hartline is 1-0 as a play caller, guys. And he beat the number one team in the country.
I have to say this, Boggs. I think that and this is why I think everybody needs to compliment Ryan Day here. You know what he did? He read the room. He understood that his defense could win this game. He had a young quarterback back there, and he knew. I mean, this is like, this didn't have to be like the Georgia game. Or remember the Georgia playoff game? He said right before the game, we're going to probably have to score north of 40 to win this game. He knew that this didn't have to be 41-38 or 42-41 or something like that. He knew that they could win a low-scoring game, and I totally agree with you. Don't compromise your defense. Don't put them into a bad spot. So I think you have to give him a lot of credit as a coach for that.
If we would have been down by 2 scores, I think the offense would have looked completely different.
Yeah, I agree.
But we weren't. We were winning trestle ball is what we were doing.
Great defense. Yeah, and sometimes you have to win games 17-14. And by the way, to me, it was a good, intense football game. I say this. I've seen just as many 17-14 games as I've enjoyed as 41-38 football games. You know what I mean? I don't need, Big 12 football all the time here or something.
Right.
So
I think Buckeye fans can appreciate a good defensive game. We can appreciate that. We haven't fallen in love with the long ball so much that we don't enjoy a good shutout, man. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. Right. No, I some of my favorite Buckeye teams were built on great defenses. So no, I hear you. I have to say, I want to say something too about the defense. I've said this since the start of the season. I said this to a friend of mine. Maybe I've said this on your podcast. I said coming into the season, this was going to be the best back seven in the country. And I was totally vindicated with that on Saturday. Totally vindicated with that.
100%, dude. They looked electric. Electric.
I have to say this. Is the Glenville pipeline back? How good are Reese and Matthews, by the way? Yeah.
Really good. And by the way, they got another one coming next year. So,
okay.
Yeah, we got another linebacker coming from Glenville who might be the best linebacker in the country. So, yeah, the pipeline is flowing from Cleveland, Ohio, Glenville High School to Columbus, Ohio, and that pipeline is full of liquid gold, my friend.
Oh, it is. Now they're getting seniors back, and I think getting juniors got a role within the program. I don't think there's any doubt about it. I think there's any doubt about it.
It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt when Teddy Ginn Jr. is on the sideline and he knows all these kids, and he's practically recruiting them to Ohio State. So that don't hurt at all.
100%. Yeah, I want to see them get the Reese for Butkus award started too, because he's a dude, man.
Yeah,
he's a dude. And I had a really good feeling that him and Sonny were going to be a great combination coming into the season. Obviously you got the best defensive player, best safety, Caleb Downs. And Jermaine Matthews is, I think it eventually, he's a starting corner in the NFL eventually. I could see it,
Oh, yeah.
and I mean, I'm really excited. I think that the only thing with the defense is I would like to have seen Kenyatta stay in the game because I still think he could gotten a little bit more of a pass rush, and I still expect good things. Is there any update on his injury?
I haven't heard one yet, but I haven't really searched for it, to be honest with you. I got the
Okay.
impression that he had a concussion
Okay.
because Ryan Day said after the game that we had to take his helmet. Usually that means when they take your helmet, they're worried that you were concussed. Typically,
Right.
that's what that
Yeah.
means. So,
Okay.
and he said, I think he's going to be okay. It didn't sound like it was like, oh my gosh, we need to go get an MRI about something here, which tells me concussion protocol.
Okay.
So I don't look for him to play Saturday. I'll just be honest with you because I don't think there's a need. I think,
Yeah,
hey,
right. He
if
doesn't
you
need
got a
to.
concussion, take a week off. This is a game where, quite frankly, if we can't beat Grambling without you, we're not going anywhere, bro.
Sure. Yeah. We shouldn't have to be worried about playing them against Grambling. That's absolutely right. Hey, last thing about the offense going forward. What are your thoughts about the running back situation, running back rotation? I spoke with another Buckeye guy. We were talking about it. How much of a role do we expect to see maybe Bo Jackson playing in some of these next few games? And how important could it be to maybe get him involved in some of these games, before we get into Big Ten play?
That is I'm glad you brought that up. I don't know if you were listening to my opening remarks when we started tonight's call-in show. My prediction for this week is that Bo Jackson makes a huge splash. This is the week. This is the week that Bo Jackson's going to get on the field, and everybody's going to see what Chris and I saw. The dude needs to play. I was not impressed with how Peoples played Saturday.
Yeah, I don't think he played well either. Yeah.
CJ Donaldson looked like the more hungrier back to me. And I don't know if they weren't, maybe they just weren't giving Peoples the calls that he needed, the running lanes he needed, because he's more of a put his foot in the ground and get north south and hit a lane, hit a hole and go. He's pretty quick.
Right.
Where CJ Donaldson can drag people a little bit more and kind of make some yardage after contact. But Bo Jackson's the total package, brother. I'm telling you, he's everything.
I'm with you, boss. I've heard nothing but great things, and I want to see him get some carries, and, so that maybe as we get into Big Ten play, he's going to be ready for meaningful carries and meaningful games. So I could definitely be with you on that. I will say though, we do need to. I know there's a lot in sports where we say sometimes we just don't give our opponents enough credit. Could Texas's front seven be as good a front seven as Ohio State's going to see the entire year?
Yes.
Give a little credit where credit is due.
Yes. 100%.
Okay.
I think that's the best defensive line we play all year, hands down.
Okay.
The NFL has a couple NFL scouts, and I don't know their names off the top of my head. I apologize, but they're getting first round grades from 3 Texas players in the front seven. So that tells me they have 2 All-Americans, preseason All-Americans, one in the defensive line, one at the linebacker room. Oh, by the way, they had one in the secondary too.
Mohammed, right?
So I'm not mad. It's like, okay, guess what? That was the toughest opponent you're going to see all regular season. We're probably going to see him again. We need to get better. They'll get better. We need to get better, obviously. But no, I'm not coming away from this being like, oh my gosh, I'm in panic mode here.
No. Hey, you don't ever. However, you got to beat the number 1 team in the country, whether it's 14-7, 6-3, 41-38. However way you got to get it done, you just get it done. You know what I mean? And then if this was 14-7 against a team that wasn't any good, then I think there would be real reason for concern. But this isn't 14-7 against a team that's no good, is what I'm saying.
Yep.
So.
No, I got you. I follow you. Any last thoughts on your way out, my brother?
No, I'm just looking forward to the rest of this season. I'm excited to see Sane and this offense continuing to grow together. I really think this is a team that's going to be peaking at the end of the year, particularly by late November, Mr. Boggs.
I like it. I like it. Let's hope so, my
All
friend.
right. OH, my friend.
IO, good call. Thank you, brother.
Take care.
Great phone call. Good phone call. And this next one, well, this is going to be a great phone call, too. You all don't know him. I know him real well, actually. And this is my good friend. He called in last week. He's calling back in tonight. Dude knows ball. Welcome back to the OHIO podcast, Mr. Bart Dennison.
Boss Eric, this is Boss Bart. How are you doing?
Boss Bart?
Oh yeah. Why not?
Are we?
I'm not the boss with my wife, but I'm trying to be the boss on the phone because nobody's hearing me right now.
Oh, I got you. That makes sense. What'd you think of the game, brother?
I enjoyed it. You kind of always knew that Texas was going to make a run because when we went up 14-0, you kind of had that. Oh, this is going to be great. We're going to win. And when Big Minoson dropped, had that pass coverage there, fourth down, and stopped them, like this is the game. And then all of a sudden, they throw it. I still don't think it was a touchdown that the Texas guy caught. But it was a good game. What do you think?
I thought it was a great game. I thought the defense was awesome. Yes, I know we actually gave up more yardage than what we gained. If you look at Bart, football is such a funny sport, man. You go look at the stat sheet, and you didn't look at the final score. You just looked at yards gained, first downs, etc. You would have thought Texas won that game 14-7.
Yeah, I look at the box score, and they, if you just look at that, they dominated us. And they did move the ball, but we were really hemmed back. Their punter did a great job. How many times? At least three times we were inside the 10, starting out, and with a first-year quarterback. It's really conservative, but that pass, I think, is very underrated. That pass that he made out of the end zone to Tate.
Oh, yeah.
To get him a first down.
Yeah.
I mean, off the back foot, and looked like there was nothing there. And that's a pretty big time throw. And I was very, very impressed with him. Almost every throw was on target. And I think that he got a little lashing from Coach Day when he didn't throw it deep to Jeremiah Smith there on that first drive. But he was trying to be conservative, but he made a perfect pass to Claire. And I don't think you're going to see him drop too many balls going forward, though.
Yeah, we had the dropsies in the first quarter, man. We had them. The nerves. Jeremiah changing gloves after he dropped two in a row, and I mean, we had the dropsies, but I tell you, dude, I was impressed with Julian's accuracy, man. He's deadly accurate, Bart.
Yes, and that's what I was just a little disappointed, and I get that you don't want him to make a mistake. And people say, our running game was terrible, our running backs were terrible, but when the defense knows that you're going to be running it, what else are they going to do? Sometimes you have to pass to open up the run, or run to open up the pass. And the thing I was disappointed, we didn't do very many outside runs. They were mostly inside. And I know their defensive ends are great, but it was just concerning, and I just think that C.J. Donaldson was a heck of a lot better running back Saturday. Just a harder runner, got some extra yards. But I'm excited to see the other running backs, or see what we can do when they actually open up some holes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you're going to see a completely different running game this Saturday. I mean, we better. It's freaking Grambling. I mean,
yeah. Yeah, if we don't, I can't say. Is it possible not to? our offensive line was going up against a brick wall. And like you said, that's going to be one of the better defenses we're ever going to play this year. But, the thing that really I took from that was, and I watched a couple things on ESPN and a couple other things about Matt Patricia's defense and how he disguised defenses. It was amazing. It was NFL level defense that they just disguised it, and a seasoned quarterback would have a hard time in college. I guess when you go up to the line, you kind of see what cover they're in, and then all of a sudden they stop that coverage and go into something else. I just don't think a lot of the college quarterback has seen something like that and be able to, first of all, to be smart enough to do that, but second of all, know where to throw the ball too.
Yeah. He was doing some stuff I'd never heard of before, to be quite honest with you. Because I don't really get into the NFL. I can't stand it. But the thing about it is, all of that disguising, Arch was just really inaccurate, dude. There was some of those passes. He was bouncing some to people. He was overthrowing people. And I'm sitting here thinking, wow, they really overhyped him big time, Bart. Big. I felt bad for the kid, kind of.
Yeah, I think Sark got out coached. That first play of the game, and if you remember that, Arch, kind of bootleg to the right.
Yep.
And he threw it, and the guy was wide open. And he threw it short. I'm thinking, okay, well, we're going to see this again. We're going to see this play coming back. Never came back to it. And it's like, how do you do that without coming back to a play that was wide open and your quarterback just missed it? I think, I don't know.
Is it possible, Bart, that Arch is more accurate deeper than he is in the mid range? Is that possible? He would be a terrible second baseman, but put him at third base and he's accurate to first, But he chuck knobblocks it when he's at second.
When you do air it out, that is, as a quarterback in high school, I know, of course, you think I'm 350 pounds, I should be a lineman, but quarterback in high school, I could throw the fade, awesome. It was one where you didn't have the arm strength, you had to hold back a little bit and throw it in a window, and it takes a really good quarterback to do that. And so when you throw it deep, it's more just of a touch thing rather than you're throwing with not all your might, but you've got a pretty good windup. And I don't know, he was just hyped. Well, of course he's overhyped. His last name's Manning, and there's a lot of pressure on the kid. I know that.
Yeah, there is. But
and the point is I think our defensive backs and our safeties were amazing.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is when he went back there and looked at somewhere to throw, I guess, and he didn't have anybody. He just went back there and looked and couldn't find anybody. We were covering them really well. Jermaine Matthews had a heck of a game. Caleb Downs is just Caleb Downs, but on that last play, when Arch was getting sacked, I mean, Caleb Downs was right on his person and right on their tight end. I just think the defensive backs were amazing in this game.
Yeah. Chris and I saw that when we went to the practice, Bart. They were walking Caleb Downs up into the nickel, and he was in the tight end's hip pocket the entire time. And our quarterbacks never could deliver the ball to the tight end. They were working on tight end drag routes in 7-on-7, and the quarterbacks couldn't get them the football. And Caleb Downs just kept saying, "Not today, boys. This you're never going to do it." He's so good, Bart. He is a cheat code, brother. Literal cheat code.
And I completely agree. But then having linebackers on top of that actually can cover the flat, cover the running back out in the flat, just athletic ability wise. But then people were saying, we're not getting a pass rush. That wasn't designed. It wasn't designed. The design was to contain him because he is at his best when he is out of the pocket and running or finding somebody open, and that was the way it was supposed to happen. And then you probably saw that replay where Arvell Reese looked off like he wasn't going to rush.
The coffee
and
house
when he got
blitz.
that sack.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just next level stuff. But the thing I'm impressed about the most is how our defense with Patricia, they learned this all brand new. I mean, Matt Patricia is not Knowles. And learning all this and not making, I can't think of any mistakes, breakdowns in coverage and how exotic their looks were at. These guys, these defense is smart. I know they worked on it a lot, but it was very impressive.
Yeah. Arvell Reese is a dog, man. He's a dog, brother.
He reminds me a lot of you when you were in high school.
Shut up. All 5'11" of me, man, huh? All 5'11", 185.
Well, maybe your son will grow up to be as big as Arvell and be as athletic. That'd be the goal.
He's already taller than me, so he's 6 foot now. So.
If he gets fatter than you, then watch out.
God help us.
Yeah.
Man.
and people don't know me, but I'm the same size as you, so that's why we get along so well.
Yeah, we're two sexy men.
Yeah. Well, my 5 minutes is up. I'll let you go, but it was a great time, and I can't wait to get invited to your back deck and watch some evening football with you sometime. And
sounds good, brother. Let's do it, man.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, well, good job on the podcast tonight, and we'll talk to you later.
Appreciate you, Bart. Take care, OH.
Yep. It's
my good buddy Bart Dennison, everybody. Awesome show tonight, everyone. That's a good call to end it on. Make sure you hit that like button if you don't mind, if you haven't already. We do appreciate that. Thank you, everybody, for the great conversation in the chat tonight. Thank you for the wonderful phone calls. Fantastic phone calls tonight. I'm not sure how many we got through, but we got through quite a few of them tonight. And that's what I'm talking about, guys. That was a lot of fun. So we're going to be back tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. The Buckeye Lounge has another former Buckeye on, so you're not going to want to miss that great interview that TG and Sean will have. Also, Wednesday night will be our big Ohio State versus Grambling preview. Chris and I will put that together in the next day for you. Haven't been able to find anybody to interview for Grambling. I've tried. I have looked. I have tried. So it might be a shorter interview or a shorter preview for all of you. It might be just really heavy Ohio State talk, which is fine. Thursday night, the Buckeye Ladies will be live at 8 o'clock. Saturday morning, 10 a.m., the Saturday morning preview call-in show. So pregame call-in show. So you're not going to want to miss that. 10 a.m. And then 3:30, we'll do the live watch with Grambling, and we're going to be working on our comedy sets. So that is that. All right, guys. Great show, everybody. On our way out, let's go ahead and play our theme song for the Grambling game this week. It's titled Sorry for the Tigers.
Buckeye Nation, let's go! Texas tried, but we stood tall. Now Grambling's coming, we taking it all. Sorry for the Tigers, they don't want this smoke. Matt Patricia got the D, boy, that ain't no joke. 4 quarters locked in, shut them down, that's the code. We the Buckeyes, baby, welcome to the show. Sorry for the Tigers, they don't want this smoke. Matt Patricia got the D, boy, that ain't no joke. 4 quarters locked in, shut them down, that's the code. We the Buckeyes, baby, welcome to the show. 14-7 Texas fell, we had them in a cage. Goal line stand, lights out, we turned up the page. Akon to the league, Jim Knowles hit the road, but the silver bullets reloaded, everybody knows. Patricia got the plan, yeah, the man with the mind. Best defense in the nation, that's the headline. Quarterback shaking wide outs, dropping tears. Better call the Tigers mama, it's about to get weird. Columbus rocking, the shoes on fire. Grambling State dreaming, but they stuck in the wire. Top dogs hunting, the jungle ain't safe. You about to see what the Big Ten made. Sorry for the Tigers, they don't want this smoke. Matt Patricia got the D, boy, that ain't no joke. 4 quarters locked in, shut them down, that's the code. We the Buckeyes, baby, welcome to the show. Sorry for the Tigers, they don't want this smoke. Matt Patricia got the D, boy, that ain't no joke. 4 quarters locked in, shut them down, that's the code. We the Buckeyes, baby, welcome to the show. Tigers on the field, but the hunt's already done. This a mismatch, man, better run, son, run. From the shoe to the natty, we got that heat. Grambling State stepping in, but they can't compete. Quarterbacks dreaming about a touchdown pass, but here come the bullets and they hitting too fast. Linebackers lurking, corners locking it down. 3rd down, nah, better punt it right now. We scarlet, we gray, we built for the stage. Big plays, big hits, put the Tigers in a cage. We don't rebuild, nah, Buckeyes reload. From the shoe to the nation, we run this show. Sorry for the Tigers, they don't want this smoke. Matt Patricia got the D, boy, that ain't no joke. 4 quarters locked in, shut them down, that's the code. We the Buckeyes, baby, welcome to the show. Another dub, let's go.